What's up, dude? I'm going to show you how to build discipline and momentum. And here's the truth. If you can't sit through this presentation, then you're not going to have what it takes to build the discipline. Discipline, dude, building momentum. How do you build this engine? And we're going to go through an action plan for going through momentum, discipline, and motivation. Everybody hates on motivation. They say, it's bullshit. Well, here's the truth, guys. You want both of them. You want to be able to use both of them, okay? So why does this matter? So I think discipline, people talk about this a lot more, so I'm not going to go too deep into this because we all know that discipline is doing the work when you don't want to do the work. Today, I slept like shit last night. I really, really genuinely slept like shit. That's why I'm wearing these glasses, because I look like I have bags under my eyes. I look like a fucking raccoon right now. And I told myself I was going to go to the gym. I had it on my list. I was hemming and hawing and all this shit about I didn't want to go, and I just went. And I actually had an amazing workout, and I felt even better after I went because I told myself I was going to go. So, okay, cool, discipline. We all know that. People shit on motivation, but the truth is motivation hits like lightning. It hits once in a while, maybe 5% of the time, 10% of the time, and we want to ride the wave. We want to use it. We want to ride the wave when it comes along. We don't want to crap all over motivation. This is where I think a lot of people get this wrong, is it always has to be a grind and it always has to be difficult, and that's bullshit. Yes, it's going to be that sometimes. Sometimes it's going to be easy. Sometimes you're going to have the energy. Use that to your advantage. You can catalyze that. You can make that go even further. Okay, so don't poo-poo on motivation. Don't sleep on it, guys. It's real. So here I want to talk about the flywheel principle. Okay, because this is super powerful. This is how you build momentum. And just like a flywheel, if you don't know, a flywheel it's a big force. It takes a tremendous amount of energy to get it going when it's at rest. It takes a tremendous amount of energy. So the initial push is slow and it's a grind and it's difficult and it requires the most amount of effort and consistency. But what happens is when it gets in motion, it has inertia and it keeps going. And a habit is the exact same way. Your life, whatever you're working on is the exact same way. The first part of it, usually the first 2 weeks, is going to be difficult, but you need to build a flywheel. You need to build that inertia. So every time you get that punch in, every time you move forward, you're building a little bit of that speed. And then after a while, you probably felt this before, right? You go to the gym. At first it sucks. The first 2 weeks, the first month suck. And then after a month, it's almost more difficult not to go because it becomes habitual and you want to get it going. So that is what we want to do, is we want to treat this as a flywheel, but recognize that in any new habit, when you're starting, the first 2 to 3 weeks are going to suck. And if you can accept that and recognize that, it's going to save you a tremendous amount of energy and time. Okay? So the next piece here is discipline versus motivation, which we talked about a little bit. But again, motivation, guys, everybody craps on it. And here's the truth. Motivation is based on emotion. It's based on highs and lows. It's based on when you're getting wins, you feel more motivated to do things. And yes, while it's unreliable and fluctuating, it feels good temporarily, you want to capitalize on it. Whether it's 5 or 20% of the time that you're relying on motivation, you don't want to discard it. Because when you do get a win and you do start getting into momentum, what's going to happen is you're going to feel even more motivated and you're going to want to take more action. And we want to catalyze that. We want to pour fire on that when it's there. But, big but, BBL but, we want to cultivate discipline, which is based on systems. This is critical. This is based on logic and systems and habits. Yes, it's reliable and consistent, and it's powerful, but I think it's bullshit when people say that rely on discipline all the time, because you can't. Sometimes you feel like crap and you need to motivate yourself. So I think it should be 75 to 80% discipline. I think this is where people get it wrong, if I'm just being brutally honest, that you do want to rely on motivation as well, but you absolutely want to cultivate discipline. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Okay? So here is the momentum formula. Here is how you actually create momentum. It's frequency times consistency times intensity. So how often do you show up? How often are you doing the task? This is critical. If you're trying to get good at sales and someone says, oh, I've been doing sales for 12 months. That doesn't mean shit, because one person could be doing one sales call a month and one person could be doing 30 sales calls a month. So it's not about, oh, I've been doing it for this amount of time. It's the frequency. Very, very critical. Frequency is more important. Repetition is more important. Now, consistency, this is what we just talked about in that case of the salesperson. Are you doing it once a month, or are you having 60 calls a month? The consistency matters. And then the last part, which this is critical, and this is like, specifically, this is something I've been focusing on in my workouts in the gym, is intensity. It's the effort that you bring, because the truth is, in the gym, I've been going to the gym quite a while, and I'm not saying that I'm big by any means, but I've been going long enough that I don't get newbie gains. And what that means is if I push 75 or 80%, I don't build muscle. And this is the same thing with tasks. If you're doing 75 or 80%, you're showing up, you're putting in energy, but you might not actually be getting the results that you want. So come with some fucking intensity. Bring the intensity. When you do the thing, do it all out, because that's going to make such a big difference. I can't understate how important this is. Bring the intensity. Okay? That's the momentum flywheel. Now, building your system. So this is something, guys, we talk about in my Skool group. I'll leave the link if you're interested. Shameless plug. If you don't want it, fuck it, don't look at it. But we want to choose 1 to 2 keystone habits. So I'm not going to read through these, but it's sleep, it's getting steps in, it's working out, it's proteins, having conversation with strangers. But we want to have some cornerstone habits, because these are the foundation for everything else. And ideally, what I would say is, these are things that you're not going to do, 3 times a week or 6 times a week. When you're building a cornerstone habit, it's something that you want to be able to do every single day. At least as you're starting, you want to be able to do this every single day, because it's going to build that consistency muscle, and you can flex the formula that I was talking about in the slide above. So super valuable thing to be able to do. And then on top of this is you can start to stack habits. That's why it's really important to be able to do this daily. So after I go for my 20-minute walk at night, I also say a prayer. I also do gratitude. I also do X. And you can start to stack things, and it becomes effortless. You really can start to build some momentum very, very easily. Okay. Now, this is something that I want to talk about that's really powerful. It's the 3F method. Okay. This is not something that I've invented. My mentors have talked about this. It's something that I've adapted to my own situation. I found to be very valuable. I want to share it with you guys. So it's the floor, meaning what is the minimal viable action that can still count as a win, that can still move you forward. If it's going to the gym and you feel like shit, like I did today, and I told myself, all I need to do is go to the gym for 10 minutes. I ended up going for 60 minutes. I ended up going to the sauna, and I had a killer fucking workout. But I told myself, when I was in that moment of, I don't want to go, and had this bitchy voice, and I kept making excuses, and I almost didn't go. I told myself, hey, just go for 10 minutes. Just get to the gym. That's a win. If I get to the gym, that's a win. You want to set the floor low. And the truth is, if I only went for 10 minutes, it still is a win, because I took the action. Something is better than nothing. A little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. Okay. Got to set the floor. Next is we want to put the focus. So what is the one clear target at a time? This is more when you're starting out. I'm not going to lie. When you have momentum, it's okay. If you're starting at 0, you really want to be focused on one thing, because what will happen is you'll get so excited, and then you'll, add 15 things to the list, and then it'll be overwhelming and you won't do any of them. So focus, laser focus. And then I love this one, is friction. We want to remove the obstacles in advance. And I'm going to talk about this in a second, but it's so much easier to avoid an obstacle completely and get it out of your space than it is to use willpower to not do a bad habit. An example of this is, if you don't have junk food in the house, you don't have to use resistance to not eat shitty food. You don't even have to think about it. It's not a decision. So remove that decision. Okay. Floor, focus, friction. And then here is the anti-sabotage plan, because the truth is, guys, we're always going to get to that point. There's the highs and the lows. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're trying to lock in. We go through these cycles. You tend to go through these cycles of very intense work for whatever that is, 30 days, 90 days, 120 days. And then you want to fall back into your vices, or you want to take a break. Or whatever, you just slip up. So this is really critical to have a plan for getting out of sabotage. And so a really important thing is the all or nothing thinking. It's not, again, it's, if I had said, man, if I don't do a 60-minute workout today, it's going to be a fail. That is perfectionism. That is perfectionism disguising itself. And the truth is, if you act on that and you let that become your reality, then you're going to tell yourself, I shouldn't go to the gym today because I didn't sleep well. And the truth is, you're never, like, maybe 5% of the time out of an entire year are you going to be operating at 100%. Every other 95% of the time, you're not going to be having perfect sleep. You're going to be having relationship issues. You're going to be having family issues. You're going to be work issues. You don't have enough time. You're going on vacation. You're going to insert X excuses. So we want to get in the habit of, if you do the floor, that's a win. Okay. Now, the missed day guilt, we all have that. We've been on a streak. Let's say you've been on a no-fap streak or a workout streak or whatever it is, and you miss a day or you relapse or whatever happens, and that guilt comes. No, you've still done 60 days of amazing work, and then you had a blip. Now practice coming back, which means practice getting back to baseline. So don't miss 2 days in a row. You messed up. We all mess up. It's part of life. Now get back to it. Okay. Low energy. What happens when you don't sleep well or you're having a shitty day? Same thing as the all or nothing. It's give yourself a limit. So for myself, it was 10 minutes, right? Go to the gym for 10 minutes. It could be 5 minutes. It could be, I said I was going to talk to strangers today. I said I was going to talk to 10 strangers. Okay, I'm just going to talk to one stranger. Just go do something. Just flexing that muscle of being able to get off the couch, get out of your chair, get out of your house, go do the thing in the world and take the action is really, really, really powerful. And then the last part is overwhelm. So when you're overwhelmed and you don't know what to do and there's too much going on and it's going to take 5 hours to do the thing, pick one task, set a timer, okay? Use a cube timer. I'm not even selling this or plugging this. Get a timer and set it for 5 minutes, 25 minutes, 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. Use a deadline to get yourself in motion. Very, very, very powerful. Okay? That's the anti-sabotage plan. Now, really important is we must keep track of these things. We can't just keep them in our head. We have 60,000 thoughts a day. So it's not about thinking about these things. We got to track our wins. We have to track this. I cannot stress this enough. If you write something down, you are 90% more likely to do it. So track your wins, track your sleep, track your deep work, track your, did you come to the Discipline Dudes weekly Q&A? Again, if you're interested, free group. It's not just free. I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay people to lock in. You're going to win cash prizes to lock in. Check out the link in the group. Check out the link. Okay. And then the last part of this is the weekly review, and call this the weekly SSC. This is really, really powerful. I got this from a mentor of mine who probably got it from a mentor of his who probably got this from Tony Robbins. So I'm assuming this is from Tony Robbins, shamelessly stealing this like an artist. We want to figure out, what do you want to start doing? So each week, what do you want to start doing? What's something you want to add in? What's a habit that you want to add in? What's something that you want to stop doing? Could be a vice, could be the jerky, it could be vaping, it could be drinking, it could be fantasizing, it could be watching porn, it could, whatever, right? Something we want to stop doing. And a lot of people leave this out, which is continue. What's something that you're doing well? How can you give yourself grace? How can you say, hey, I've been doing this really well this week and I want to continue doing this? So stop, start, and continue. Okay, but daily scorecards. And then the last thing I'm going to say here, guys, is I want to challenge you. I want you to take action directly from this video. So choose one or two of the keystone habits that we talked about and set the floors. What is the absolute minimum that you know that you can do for the next week? So let's take a workout example. Let's say you haven't worked out in a few months and you're getting rusty. Your tendency might be, I'm going to commit to going fucking ham and I'm going to go 7 days and I'm going to go 60 minutes a day. No, set the floor. What is the absolute minimum that you know that you can do? If it's 10 minutes a day, set it to 10 minutes a day. Okay. And then we want to apply the never miss it twice rule. But really for this 7 days, you don't want to miss anything. And then lastly is post the daily scorecard, post it in the Skool group and come to the Q&A so I can hold you accountable to it. But start today. Don't do this tomorrow. Take out a piece of paper, take out a pen right now and write this down. Set a timer for 5 minutes and write this down, and then post it in the Skool group. Take the first set of action, guys. It's not about the thinking. It's life rewards bold action, not intentions.